Welcome back, everyone. Before we dive in, make sure you drop your thoughts and the lessons you took from this story in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get into it. The crystal chandelier fractured light across our Bronzeville ballroom as I watched my husband of 17 years hold another woman in his arms. Our anniversary waltz had become a grotesque mockery of everything I thought sacred. Malik Kingston spun Brianna Rivers across the marble floor with the same tender grace he had once reserved for me. Her scarlet dress flared like spilled wine against the thought of the white anniversary gown I had left hanging in our bedroom upstairs, unworn and irrelevant. The guests' whispers cut through the orchestra like shards of glass. How could he? At their own anniversary party. Poor Gloria. Poor was not the word. I was finished. My 15-year-old daughter, Danielle, stood beside me with her hands clenched. Fury burned in her face, a mirror of the heat rising in my chest. "What is Dad doing, Mom?" she whispered, voice tight. Everyone is staring. There were 200 witnesses, Malik's business partners, my book club, neighbors from the block, watching our marriage dissolve in real time. Brianna met my gaze over Malik's shoulder and smiled, not apologetic, but triumphant. She mouthed one word, mine. Danielle broke. She strode across the floor like a young queen, emerald dress swishing, voice carrying cleanly. "Home wrecker. That is my father." The violins stumbled to silence. Conversations died. Brianna turned with a pleased little smile. "And you must be the daughter. How sweet." Danielle did not flinch. "Do you think stealing a cheating husband is a prize? You had to destroy a family to feel important." Brianna's smile thinned. "Little girl, you do not understand adult matters." "I understand perfectly," Danielle said, softer yet somehow louder. "You were desperate. You settled for another woman's leftovers. You needed to break a home to feel valuable for 5 minutes." Gasps rippled. Phones rose like a forest. Brianna's eyes flickered, then hardened. "Perhaps your mother should learn how to keep a man interested." Danielle's hands balled. "At least my mother is not a cheap fraud who breaks families for amusement." Brianna's hand shot up, palm aimed at Danielle's cheek. It never landed. My hand did. The crack echoed through the ballroom. Brianna stumbled backward into Malik. "Touch my daughter," I said, voice like glass, "and I will annihilate you." Silence thrummed. Brianna clutched her cheek, stunned. Malik stared, mouth opening and closing. Danielle's fingers slid into mine as I turned for the door. Guests parted for us. "Gloria, wait," Malik called, breathless. "We need to talk." I paused at the threshold. He stood in his tuxedo, holding his mistress, surrounded by the ruins of what was supposed to honor us. In that light, he looked like what he was, a foolish man who traded gold for glitter. "No, Malik," I said clearly. "We do not." Outside, under the January cold, Danielle's breath curled white. "Where are we going?" "Home. To pack. Then to show your father exactly what he lost." Upstairs, our bedroom was a museum of a life already gone. The king bed where I had lain awake alone. Our wedding portrait smiling like liars from the dresser. I took it to the kitchen, lit the gas, and held the photo over the flame. Malik's face burned away first. How appropriate. I called Kendra Austin, the best real estate agent in Chicago. "Kendra, it is Gloria Kingston. List the house. Tonight." "Honey, that is sudden." "So is humiliation. I want to sign on the lawn at dawn." Danielle packed with fierce precision. I took my grandmother's jewelry, my books, photos with Danielle, documents. Everything else could rot. The second call was to the bank's emergency line for priority clients. I need to transfer all funds from the joint account to my personal account and freeze the joint immediately. "That is a significant sum, Mrs. Kingston." "Are you certain?" "Completely. My grandmother's inheritance had bought this home, seeded Malik's early ventures, underwrote his ambition. Legally ours, morally mine." The third call went to attorney Nadine Jasper, the most ruthless divorce lawyer I knew. "Ms. Jasper, I need a divorce. Fast, thorough, devastating." "I saw a clip already spreading online," she said without warmth. "You have a strong arm and an even stronger case. I will have papers ready within hours." "Grounds." I thought of Brianna's necklace glinting under my chandelier, of Malik's tender smile trained on the wrong face. "Adultery, emotional cruelty, financial deceit." "Excellent," she said. "We will destroy him legally and leave him grateful for the privilege." By 2 o'clock in the morning, Danielle and I had loaded my SUV with everything that mattered. We checked into the Fairmont downtown before sunrise. Room service pancakes arrived with the dawn. My phone buzzed relentlessly. I ignored everything except Kendra's text. House listed. 3 interested buyers already. At 9:30, a female process server knocked on his front door. Malik answered in a wrinkled tuxedo. He went bone white when he saw the packet. Adultery, emotional abuse, financial infidelity, she later told me. He looked gutted. Malik called 17 times that morning. I deleted each voicemail without listening. Danielle bounded into the suite. Mom, it is everywhere. The clip of my slap had exploded. Comments surged. Queen behavior. Protect your child. That slap had a PhD. I should have felt ashamed. I felt awake. Around noon, Kendra called. All 3 buyers made offers, above asking. Good. Let them fight. At 2, Nadine called, pleased. We are finding irregularities, large cash withdrawals, payments to shell companies. He is either careless or hiding assets. Find them, I said. All of them. Danielle refreshed her feed. Mom, look. Brianna got fired. A leaked clip from Malik's office showed Mr. Howard, the department vice president, speaking like ICE. Conduct unbecoming. Disruption of workplace harmony. Security will escort you out. My phone lit again, a number I knew. Malik's father. Gloria, said Nicholas Kingston, Sr., voice rough. What has my son done? You saw the video. I did. He has shamed himself and disrespected the finest woman he will ever know. I am so sorry. It is not your fault. I raised him better. If you and Danielle need anything, you ask. You are family. Danielle and I toured a riverfront apartment in Streeterville that afternoon. Clean lines, light pouring in, a view that did not know her story. It feels honest, she said. We signed the lease that evening. The next morning, the restaurant and the hotel fell silent when Malik and Brianna walked in. Danielle spoon paused midair. You have 5 minutes, I told him. He sat uninvited. This has gone far enough. You are angry. You made your point. We can. Do I look angry? I asked. I am free. You are destroying our family out of spite, he said. It was one dance. Danielle slid her phone onto the table. Brianna's public page blazed, single and ready to move on. Hashtags grinning. Malik's face drained of color. He turned to Brianna. Tiff, Bree, what is this? She took a step back. I cannot do this, Malik. Then she ran. Actually ran, leaving him with nothing but cold eggs and 50 phones documenting humiliation. He caught my wrist as I stood. Please. Counseling. We can start over. Let go of me, I said. There is no we. Danielle and I walked out. Whispered applause followed us like the rustle of new leaves. That evening, the local news called. We want your side of the story, the producer said. There is compensation. No. Malik did not share my preference for privacy. He appeared that night with anchor Ava Reynolds, lower lip trembling. I made a mistake. My wife overreacted. She froze our accounts, took our daughter, put our home on the market, all over a misinterpreted dance with a colleague. The internet responded with ruthless memory. Security footage leaked from his building. Malik and Brianna in the executive elevator, the conference room, the garage. 8 months of timestamps. 8 months of lies. Hashtag gaslighting trended by morning. Kendra rang again. You will not believe it. 6 offers now. The highest is from Henderson Industries. The same Henderson Malik was courting. He was. Apparently, Mr. Henderson attended your party. He is no longer interested in deals with Malik, but he very much wants your house. Except, Nadine called later, her voice rich with victory. We found the hidden money. Offshore investments, cryptocurrency wallets, a safety deposit box under his mother's maiden name. About $2 million squirreled away during the marriage. We will recover all of it, plus damages. I ordered sundaes and let Danielle pile them with toppings. To truth, I said. We clink spoons. Malik's younger brother, Andre, called. He showed up with his suitcase begging for the guest room. Andre said. I gave him a week. She, the other one, was not allowed. She cursed me and left. He will tell you it was nothing, I said. He tried, Andre replied. But I saw the tape. That was not nothing. The next afternoon, 2 women from my support group met me at a cafe in Hyde Park. We saw you. One said gently. We are sorry you had to go through it. I am not, I said. Their eyebrows rose. I am done living inside someone else's story. Nadine filed for full custody with supervised visitation. No judge will ignore the public spectacle, she said. He brought his mistress to his own anniversary party. Nicholas Kingston, Sr., issued a statement that Saturday. The Kingston name stands for integrity. My son's conduct dishonored every principle we hold. Effective immediately, he is removed from all family business. Our respect and support belong to Gloria and Danielle. He transferred Malik's shares into a trust for Danielle. Malik texted from a new number. I deserve a second chance. Everyone makes mistakes. I replied once. Everyone makes choices. Enjoy California. Then I blocked him. We moved into the Streeterville apartment the next week. We bought a new couch that invited reading and conversation, not television avoidance. Danielle joined the debate team at her new school and came home glowing after practice. I hired a financial advisor, met with my grandmother's old real estate contacts, and bought 2 small rental properties on the south side at fair prices. I enrolled in an evening art class and started a quiet blog about rebuilding after betrayal. The divorce finalized 3 months later. Malik kept his car, clothes, and enough cash to survive half a year if he learned humility. I received the house proceeds, the recovered assets, alimony, child support, and the legal satisfaction of a judgment that described fraud in elegant detail. At the Barnes & Noble on State Street, a manager asked if I would consider a small reading. The blog had grown into a manuscript. After the dance, Rebuilding Your Life When Love Lies sold to a publisher who liked a measured voice that did not sensationalize pain. The day of my first signing, Malik appeared after the last reader left, thinner, eyes red around the rims. 5 minutes, he whispered. I sat because I wanted no ghosts later. I have lost everything, he said. Job, family, father's respect. I am sleeping in my car. I cannot get work because my name brings up that video. Please show mercy. Do you remember our 5th anniversary? I asked. He blinked. What? I cooked your favorite meal. You came home 3 hours late. You told me to be proud that you were hustling for us. He looked away. Our 10th. You forgot. Went out with colleagues. Our 15th. You picked up flowers at a gas station and called a devotion. For 17 years, I celebrated our marriage alone while you enjoyed the benefits. When you grew bored, you paraded a new toy at an event meant to honor us. Tears streaked his face. People change. They do, I said, standing. I did. I learned to value myself. You learned what consequence means. Danielle is my daughter. She is a young woman with agency. She has chosen distance. I will not force her to swallow harm, to comfort your regret. He reached for me and stopped himself. How am I supposed to live with what I did? By telling the truth to yourself every day, I said. Then by acting like a man worthy of the compassion you want. I walked away. He did not follow. 6 months later, I stood in our kitchen, morning light painting the counters. Danielle called from the table. Mom, the Tribune has a piece on your investments. I groaned, then laughed when I read the headline. The article was matter of fact. It praised prudence, not drama. Flowers arrived with a card. The strongest woman I know. Thank you for showing Danielle what self-respect looks like. In Kingston, Sr. That evening, Nadine called with a hint of mischief. He tried to file bankruptcy to reduce payments. It will not work. Alimony born of adultery and fraud does not vanish on paperwork. He will owe you until you remarry, which I suspect will be on your timeline, not his. I'm in no hurry, I said. 1 year after the slap, Danielle said, we should mark it. A party. A celebration, she said. 1 year of choosing our lives. We invited a small circle. Andre, Nicholas, Sr., my book club, Danielle's debate friends, women from the support group. We cooked, we told truth, and we allowed joy. Near midnight, Danielle found me at the window. He is outside. Malik stood under the streetlight, thinner than before, hands in pockets, staring up at our windows like they held a past that might reach out and touch him. A patrol car rolled by. He faded into the night. Do you feel sorry? Danielle asked. For the man he could have been, I said. Not for the man he chose to be. 2 weeks later, I was mid-sentence at another reading when he appeared again, only to stay back, head lowered. He left before I finished. I exhaled a breath, I had not noticed I was holding. Years turned pages. Danielle earned a spot at Harvard and called after debate tournaments, voice sparkling across the miles. My second book took shape with less rage and more craft. The rental properties stabilized families and stabilized me. On a winter afternoon, Danielle set a mug by my laptop. "There's an article about Dad in the Los Angeles Times," she said. "Wife number 3 filed for divorce." I nodded, unsurprised. A man who treats fidelity like a costume changes it often. My phone buzzed. A connection request from Malik arrived on a professional networking site. I deleted it without opening. Some doors, when closed, stay closed to protect what grew on the other side. New Year's Eve, Danielle and I kept our tradition. Excellent takeout, ridiculous comedies, and a conversation about what we built together. Midnight neared. The city outside glittered. A final message arrived from an unfamiliar number. "I dream about our life sometimes. The good parts. Do you ever miss those days?" Malik. I looked at my daughter asleep against my shoulder, at our home filled with books and quiet laughter, at the woman in the window's reflection who had learned to be unafraid. I deleted the message. Some dances end so better ones can begin. Ours had only just begun. If you enjoyed this story, please like, comment, and share this video with your friends. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a powerful story drop.